What's up, everybody? I know it's been a while since my last video. I don't have a bike anymore, and that's kind of a different story. But this video is being made because of some things that have been going on in life that people are just going to eventually figure out anyway. So I might as well get something out there so that I don't have to keep repeating myself, so I could just point you in the direction of this video. It's been a while since I've made a video, so bear with me. And I got my notes because there's a lot to remember. So I'll start from the beginning. This was March 3rd. I was at work and I was loading and unloading one of the printers, and I work in large format printing, and the rolls we work with are anywhere from 54-inch to 10 feet. And the machine that I was working on ran 80-inch rolls, and those rolls go on a, I guess you could call it a spindle. And when I was unloading, the bar slipped out of my hand and I dropped it on my foot. Ouch. So those things weigh somewhere between 50 and 70 pounds. I'm not really sure. Never actually weighed it. But I thought I might have actually broken my foot. I was able to walk on it, so I didn't think too much of it. But after a few days, maybe 2-3 days, it actually started to hurt more. So I was like, well, let me go get it checked out, because I've broken fingers and toes before and not realized it. So I made an appointment and go see the orthopedic doctor, and she orders x-rays, and I get those done, get those checked out. Foot's not broken, yay. But I mean, I have some problems with my Achilles, with a bone spur that broke off somehow. Not a big deal. But I figure while I was there, I was talking to my chiropractor before. She said, hey, mention it to your orthopedic doctor when you go in and get your foot checked out. So I did that because I've been getting some weakness in my right arm, a little bit in my right leg. And so I asked the orthopedic about that, and she ordered me some x-rays for my cervical spine, which is a fancy way to say my neck. And then hopefully from there, the insurance would approve getting an MRI or a CT scan. So later in the day, I got the order in to go get the x-rays done for my neck, and then later that day, I think it was, I went and got the CT scan at St. Raphael's, and you know, I was in the emergency department waiting to get the CT scan and then the results from it. So after all that, the doctors came out and told me that they saw something that was kind of concerning on the CT scan. It looked like I may have had a stroke. The problem with that is it was on the right side of my brain. Now, we all know our brains are flip-flopped as far as motor skills are concerned, right? So your right side controls your left hand, and your left side your right hand. So it didn't line up as far as a stroke was concerned, it being my weakness problem. So because they saw that, they ordered more scans. I think it was more CT scans for my neck and an MRI for my head to check out what that, I don't know what you would call it, that little blip on the CT scan was. So I was sitting in the emergency department for a while waiting to get in for an MRI, and that took a few hours. Got that done, and my neck at the same time, I believe. I lose track of all these MRIs. I have so many of them at this point. So I got the MRIs. My neck, turns out my neck is just as screwed up. Well, actually worse than I thought it was. I have multiple bulging discs that are pressing on my spinal cord, I think, and some stenosis at my nerve roots. So those are giving me problems with my arms. So I get tingles and numbness and weirdness. The one that I was concerned about, obviously, was the MRI for my head. And so the MRI was ordered because of that mass that they thought they saw, and it turns out it wasn't a stroke. It's a tumor. And they're not sure how long it's been there. I mean, you can't really tell just by one scan, but I guess it's called a glioma. I'm pretty sure that's just kind of a generic term for a brain tumor. I'm not really sure. I'm not a brain doctor by any means. So this mass that they found is in my right inferior gyrus, and yeah, it looks like a low-grade glioma. So anybody that knows me knows that strokes and aneurysms just scare the crap out of me. Those are like my top fears. And you know, when somebody tells me they think I had a stroke, yeah, it's gonna scare the shit out of me. And I guess to make things worse, they're like, oh, never mind, it wasn't a stroke, it's actually a tumor. So I don't know if that's better or worse. So I've gotten plenty of MRIs at this point. I've gotten a functional MRI after that, which is just a way to see what parts of your brain light up when you do certain actions while you're in the MRI. So everything, it's kind of like a little, I don't know, test inside the MRI. You have certain tasks and things that you're instructed to do at certain times, whether it's verb generation, filling in the blanks, you know, eye movement, doing certain hand motions, and that will show up in the MRI to see if the activity is anywhere near the tumor. So they want to do this to make sure that when they go to remove the tumor, it's not going to cause any problems with my motor skills or speech skills or anything like that. I'm pretty optimistic with most of this because I don't have any symptoms. We found this tumor by accident. Wasn't anything that we were looking for or concerned about. It just happened to be on the CT scan, and it started from there. So after the functional MRI, I had to do a few more MRIs to, you know, get a better resolution. I guess we had to do some with and without contrast dye to see how it behaved that way. Then there was one that I just did a day or two ago, And that was just to see the most recent image and also to see if it were fast growing. And I looked at all the MRIs, they all look very similar. So I don't think it's fast growing. Doesn't look like it. They don't think it's fast growing. The neurosurgeon that I met with that's going to be operating on me, she seems pretty awesome. This is all she does. So she's confident that the only problem I'll have is some possible facial drooping on my left side. I'm hoping that because I don't have any symptoms that won't happen. But I also understand that when the tumor's resected, a little bit extra matter around it needs to be removed to have a clean margin, so that as much of the tumor cells are removed as possible, and so that regrowth doesn't happen. Everybody keeps reassuring me that I'm so young and I'll have the best recovery chance and everything. That's great. Still scares the shit out of me though. And it's just crazy because we found this by accident, and it's kind of terrifying. It's not like a liver problem or like a tumor anywhere else that you just remove it and life sucks for a little while and you recover. I feel like this is different because it's in the brain, and I have fears that it's going to change something about me. I'll lose memory, something like that. They assure me that that's not likely, but I tend to spiral and think about the worst possible case. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope that everything is way easier than I'm thinking it's going to be. But I have the surgery coming up in 2 days, I think. So 2 days before they make a big hole in my head. But I'm gonna get to join the metal plate club. I'll have some titanium plates and screws in my head. And possibly a weird haircut for a little while. But yeah, that's where that is. I've gotten so much blood taken for testing and things like that. And it's almost here. Day's almost here. Hopefully everything goes smooth. But yeah, I wanted to get this story out there because it's just hard to keep repeating things, especially something like this. And I know that it's going to be easier for me to put this out there on social media so that whoever knows me can find it. If you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. I appreciate you listening to my story, as kind of morbid as it is, but thank you. I've been learning a lot about everything. What's important, who cares, and who kind of doesn't. Yeah. So I'm going to update you on what happens. So you may not see a video for a while because, like I said, the surgery is coming up really quick. And I don't know how I'm going to feel after the procedure is done. We'll have to wait and see. But thanks again for watching, and I will see you later. Oh, and one more thing to just put it out there. Yes, I am absolutely terrified of everything that's coming. Because I don't know what's going to happen. Doctors seem confident, so that's good. But I'm scared. Not so much for myself, but for my family. You know, my wife and my daughter. It's like the worst fear unlocked. I don't want to be a burden to anyone, especially not in this way. And I don't want to put my family through that. I'll probably post a video on, you know, all the things that I've been going through, like mentally and just all the things that I've been learning about life in general. But this is it for now. And as much as I hate to ask for help, I have started a GoFundMe fundraiser. FMLA does a lot, covers a good amount, but not everything. So any help would be appreciated. You know, help take a little bit of burden off of my wife and make it easier for my daughter. If you could donate $1, great. $100, great. If you can't donate anything, that's cool too. You made it to this point in the video, and it means a lot that you sat through it and listened to my entire story. So thank you. And like I said, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.